We live? We live? Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. Look who's back from Hiatusi. Jimmy the Bag, back from Hiatusi. Is that where you were? What does that say? Hiatusi?
Yes, Hiatusi.
Yeah, let me can't see this shit. What the fuck is Hiatusi? Is that where you were?
I was in beautiful Hiatusi.
Very nice.
I just got in an hour and a half ago. I came directly from the airport. I stink.
Very nice, Jimmy the Bag. Very nice to have you back. Hey, everyone, Jimmy the Bag is back. You, of course, are watching SportsbookReview.com, SBROdds.com. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak and the Bag Show for Monday morning, July 23rd. Jimmy the Bag. I had a let me fill you in on what happened while you were gone.
Please do.
Well, it started out unbelievable. I was nailing everything. I swear to God, you can go back and watch the videos if you want. First of all, the All-Star break home run derby, nailed it. Then in the other days I did have some trouble with the WNBA, which I always have, but I nailed all my Mexican baseball picks. I nailed rugby. I nailed Philippine basketball,
Jesus.
and I nailed and even had a good week in MMA. So overall, things went very well. But I was like, listen, the beginning of we all know this. Every year this happens. Whenever teams return from the All-Star break, it's just always unexpected. You know what I'm saying? Expect the unexpected. You should always tread lightly. I treaded a lot more lightly than I wanted to, and I just took it in the old bottom mouth in MLB. Just getting pounded in MLB. I was happy because I started to gain units back in the All-Star break, and I nailed the American League 2 different ways. I nailed I had a little positive day in the home run derby. But then the reason I'm not more enthused right now is because I'm very concerned with how profoundly I took it in the bottom mouth in the beginning of the MLB regular season second half, Jim.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Your poor bottom mouth.
Yeah. If anyone is following me on Twitter, they will know that, and it's really friggin' embarrassing. You know what I'm saying, Jim? When you tweet out like, "Hey, I'm on this play, I'm on that play, I'm on that play, I'm on that play," and they're like 0-5, and it's just hanging there forever.
That sucks.
You know what I'm saying?
But you have a nice cushion,
Yes.
so it's okay, to have a couple losing days. So you were hitting in Philippine basketball.
Yeah, and I now have a lot of stuff happened while you were gone. Well, a lot of stuff happened while you were gone, and I want to recreate. I feel like I want to recreate one of my scenes from one of my favorite movies, which is Once Upon a Time in America. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Sure.
You saw that?
I mean, I've seen it.
All right,
but,
we won't recreate it.
No,
but,
I'd love you to recreate it.
Yes, it's when we'll do it maybe a little bit later. But yes, I hit Philippine basketball, and what I realized is that And I realize this. One of the things is that when you're handicapping a sport for the first time that you don't know a lot about, by definition, you're not going to overthink yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to do your analysis. You're going to say, look, I know how markets work. I know how athletes work. I know how sports works. I'm looking at this. Here are the factors. I can pretty much tell that this is a good play, and you're not going to overthink yourself. Whereas if you're covering any other sport day in and day out, you're sitting there. You're like, all right, well, Porcello is pitching today. He got crushed the last few days, but then like last month he was really good, and I know how I felt about him last year and 2 years ago and 3 years ago. So whenever Rich Porcello is starting, as he is today, it's impossible to not overthink yourself with all the data you have in your head, right?
It's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Well, that's very interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing more about the Philippine basketball. Twatty Latte says you swept the board in ballroom dancing.
Yeah, listen, I swept the board in everything that people don't care about, and I took it in the bottom mouth in MLB and of course WNBA. My WNBA season is going very weird, Jim. Basically, I'm like shitting the bed in WNBA except for the Vegas Aces. So like overall WNBA, I'm down like 15 units, but with Aces games, I'm up like 20 units. So I'm up like 3 or 4 units. Over the week, I basically just hemorrhaged units in WNBA, then made them back with Aces games, then hemorrhaged more, then made them back a little bit more in Aces games, and now I'm dead even in WNBA despite my great start. I also shit the bed. Maybe I shit the bed a lot more than I'm remembering, Jim, because I'm so impressed with my handicapping of rugby. Nailed rugby.
Nice.
But I also shit the bed in CFL, Jim.
It was some tricky spots. I was very impressed,
Mm-hmm.
and I've talked for hours with my dad about Travis Lulay and
Mm-hmm.
what expectations we had of him being down 17-0 at the half to the Bombers and coming back with a plus 300-yard game and winning 2017 was shocking. Watching the Rough Riders go into Hamilton and take care of business was shocking. Although that stamps under against the Alouettes, or the Alouettes team total under. That felt very much like a gift, but a difficult week. I'm so thankful to be back, man. Getting some love from the Cappers here, man. I missed you guys so much, Pete. I missed you. This is my whole life. My whole world is here, and I'm very thankful to be back, even if I am still drunk and stink.
Yes, that's right. So where are you, Jimmy the Bag? No, seriously, you're not back from Hayatusi. You came from the airport this morning.
I did.
That's
about an hour and a half ago.
There you go. That's about an hour and a half ago. Jim returned. And were you able to look at the baseball games at all, or what?
I did. Well, I looked at them yesterday. I had some delays at the airport, and I had Wi-Fi, so I broke the games down. I still have a little bit more work to do on the later games, but I've got everything pretty much ready to go. Kobe Valentine asking, how do I feel about the Kawhi Leonard trade? And the only reason why I'm wearing this hat is it was only a hat I brought on my trip, and I just came right from the airport. I'm devastated. I'm really upset. I'm extremely upset at how we handled one, Dwayne Casey, and now for the first time in 20 years, we have a star that wants to play in Canada. For the first time fucking in 20 years, and we let him go for a 1-year rental. I'm extremely upset. You won't see me wear this fucking hat anymore for the rest of the year. I'm really hurting, and it hasn't gone away. 3 or 4 days went by, and I can't fathom that we have this young man in DeMar DeRozan who actually wants to play in our city and cares about our city and cares about our country. And yesterday there was a mass shooting on the Danforth in Toronto, and DeRozan would be a guy who would be stepping up for our country, stepping up for our city, the city that he loves. But no, we've shipped him off to San Antonio. I'm really upset, and I'm hurt, and I think Masai should be fired. I despise Masai now. I can't believe if he thinks it's Casey and DeRozan's fault, he should look in the fucking mirror.
So how are we going to bet into that? What's the betting angle for this, Jim? Wow, you really care about these teams, right?
I'm hurt. I'm really hurt. It's really hurt. We went through Vince Carter. We went through Tracy McGrady. We went through these stars that didn't want to play in our city and didn't care about our country. Finally, we have a star that wants to be there and cares about our country, and we ship him out. I'm very upset.
Wow.
And this is the last time you will see me wear this hat for a long time.
I don't care about anything, let alone country, stars, teams, people. I don't care about anything. Forget about countries. You know what I'm saying, Jim? You feel me, Jim?
I do feel you.
Me, Jim? Great to have you back.
Oh, it's so nice to be back. I missed you guys so much.
Bolsa Jim. Hell yeah. All right, let's quickly get to some comments. Yeah, I see that. God, jeez. I was so... God, fuck. King Rail says he shit the bed yesterday, WNBA, but made it all back, and 2 units on Aces. Yeah, I was so spooked by my horrible picking that I didn't want to tweet out more losers. The Aces were an obvious call yesterday. Shout out to King Rail for doing that. God, all right, I got to get things together. I got to get things together. I feel like when the second half of the MLB season or any season starts, yes, the first 2 days you want to tread lightly. A lot of times you wind up shitting the bed. A lot of times things catch you by surprise. But then after a week or so, things do start to even out, and you wind up being able to ride a wave of profitability. That's what I'm hoping to have right now in baseball, but I definitely shit the bed majorly.
Well, you created, you got yourself a cushion by excellent play all year. Rashad Sutton says, if you think Kawhi isn't the second best player in the league when fully healthy, you're crazy. When fully healthy is a big, giant question mark, let alone fully healthy. How about wants to play in Los Angeles and couldn't give a shit about Canada? So that's the problem. This isn't a question about Kawhi's talent at all. This is a question. The guy played 9 games last year, and he wouldn't trust his own doctors and his own team, and he couldn't give a fuck about my country.
What about me sitting here on the Low Bag Show? Couldn't give a shit about anything in life, anything at all. Jimmy the Bag, making Kawhi Leonard look like a freaking saint, right? Right? I don't give a fuck about it. All right, let's read some comments, and then we will move on to some handicapping in MLB, because, again, I'm feeling a little bit uncertain, but I am going to tread lightly and give my plays that I think I'm liking. Let's get to some early comments, and then we will move into handicapping. Let's see. Stephen Alla says, what's up, Low Brag crew? Huge shout out to Stephen Alla. Of course, people are like, get to the picks. No, first we're going to get to the early comments, then we're going to get to the picks, because this is what we live for. Let's see. Red Girl says, Jimmy, we missed you. Red Girl, really impressive handicap. Randy
incredible.
Moe. Yeah.
Oh, incredible
Hell yeah.
handicapper.
Let's see. Ponce de Leon pitching. Yes, we will talk about that in a second. Other comments coming in. Let's see. Let's just see. Randy Lockhart, Boston -1 with Porcello starting. We will talk about that one. Mr. Gokster says Prison Pocket was open last week, Pete. Ha. Yes, it was. All right. Let's look for Randy Lockhart says Brewers under 9.5. That's an interesting game. We'll get to that in a second. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Let me see. Other comments coming in. What other comments do you have here?
Oh man, I just miss these guys so much. Absolutely miss these guys. I
Ralph
love seeing all
Portuando
this.
says, Jimmy, Pete can't hold your jock. Absolutely true. Absolutely accurate. Ralph Portuando. Shout out to Ralph Portuando for nailing it with that comment. Let's see. Trenton Claxton says, Pete, I told you WNBA on Indiana on Friday. Yes, you did. Shout out Trenton Claxton. Unbelievable. They beat LA straight up. All right, let's see. Other comments and then we'll get into it. Let's see. Adam Lopez, low-hanging fruit seems like Red Sox even at that price. Rashad Sutton says, at Kobe Valentine, do you expect regression from Trevor Williams? I've been waiting on it. Guys pitching above his head. We will talk about that.
Very difficult guy to figure out. I tell you what I'm going to do with the Orioles now. Now, I've lost so many units with them, and I didn't make my goal because I had a bad last day before I left. But when I think that the Orioles have a chance to win, I'm just going to lay off the game. I'm not going to bother losing more units on this terrible baseball team. So I think Gaussman has value here, but I'm going to just stay off of it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Coming in. Comments, other comments, and then we will talk about Eric Swiatek says the low bag show is a cultural phenomenon. Phenomenon. All right, whoever is in charge of culture in the world, send a check. Thanks very much. You're a phenomenon. Thank you very much, Eric Swiatek. Ray Williams says UFC Fight Night had a nice hit with Tibura Struve over 1.5. Yes, I cashed that one. I had Tibura Struve to go the distance at +170. And I even talked Andreas Hale into taking Tibura by decision, which cashed. I didn't have the balls to do it, but that was a +300 dog. So pretty much had a nice winner with Ray Williams. With Ray Williams. Jesus Christ, I'm looking at the Gin Rummy says, show me 1,000 bets, date, odds, yield, stakes, profit, ROI, and closing line value. Then I might consider your statements or bets. No, I'm not going to do that, Gin Rummy. 1,000 bet stats. What I will show you is 25 or 30 MMA bet stats and stuff like that, right?
You're going to get to 1,000 in MLB this year.
We do the best we can to be as transparent about our opinions and record here as we possibly can. Let's see, other comments. Oh, Drew Daddy says, what's up, Jimmy? Missed you, man. And then in all caps, Pete killed it last week. So Drew Daddy and Ralph Portuando on opposite sides of me.
Ralph is just fooling, man. Ralph loves you, man. Ralph loves
hell
you.
Yeah,
Ralph loves you. I know that you locked everything down. You're the legend Pistol Pete Loshak.
Opposite sides are what makes markets. All right, let's see.
You're Lodell's Loshak, man.
Yes, that's right. All right, just some other comments. Where is he?
Jay the Gifted said Cards got a kid from AAA starting today. Very interesting kid. A kid who took that the line drive to the head last year.
That's a crazy story as well.
And Jay the Gifted says best show on YouTube. Thank you, Jay the Gifted. It feels good to be back.
Jay the Gifted, best show on YouTube. Where does he say that?
He says Cards got a kid. About 8 comments up from the bottom.
Best show on YouTube. You know what I think he should do? I'm gonna do it, Jim. I'm gonna do it, Jim.
Okay.
If you really think this is the best show on YouTube, there's a thing called the Streamies, which I found this thing called the Streamies, and I was like, people were like, well, why don't you try to get yourself nominated for a Streamy? I was like, I don't know. The Streamies have all like much bigger shows, but fans can't nominate it. Jay the Gifted, if you think this is the best show on YouTube, nominate us fans in the sports category at the Streamies. Was that pathetic? That I just
that's not at all, man. We need to make this show bigger, and the only way we can do that is with the help of our low baggers whom we love and whom we cap with every day. And if they want to help us improve the notice of our show, we would love that.
Streamies.org. If someone told me, they were like, why don't you, because I was telling someone that people like the show, they were like, why don't you have them nominate you for a Streamy? I was like, what's that? I looked into it and I was like, I don't want to beg them to do that. But then I was like, well, why not? You know what I'm saying?
It's not begging.
Why not?
It's not
begging.
It is begging,
but it's okay.
Okay, let's beg. Let's beg. If you want to nominate us for the Streamies, we would be very thankful.
All right.
Ralph Portuando says, just welcoming Jimmy back. We all know Pete carries the show.
No. Now he's going too far in the other direction. See, this is when you're like, all right, now I think Porcello's going to get crushed. All right, so Ralph Portuando clearly overthinking his analysis of my performance, which I do in almost every bet, which I'm going to, and I did mention this during the week, I'm going to try my best to stop overthinking. I'm going to try my best. It's hard. I'm going to try my best to stop overthinking. All right, let's get into it, Jimmy the Bag. We have a
First
full
off, I
card.
want to give a shout. There's so many great guys here, but Alex has joined us from Romania.
Hell yeah.
Much love, man. We miss you very, very much. All right, let's get to work.
Okay. All right, let's get to it. Let's see. What should we get? All right, so I'm also getting acclimated. I'm sorry, I might be a little bit when I look at the screen because I am using the new SBR odds, Jim.
Oh, yes.
Which now I'm a creature of habit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So anytime there's a change, I'm like I don't like it. But I know that's a thing that's wrong with me. So I'm going to try to change it. But I am adjusting to the new layout here of SBR odds. One thing I was thinking about: Boston against Baltimore, Gossman against Porcello. How's Porcello going to do? I mean, I'm thinking. Okay, first of all, I'm almost definitely going to take Boston on the second half here. And then people were talking about how bad is Baltimore really. And, we're seeing similar lines to what we saw in the first half. Baltimore might really be an auto fade on the run line just every game until further notice.
They might be. I'm very uncomfortable in this spot. Thunderstorms in the forecast all night. How much are you going to get out of Porcello and Gossman? If the thunderstorms do wreak havoc, the Red Sox have a much better bullpen.
Yeah.
Game time, temps 79 Fahrenheit, wind blowing sideways, pretty strong. Boston's 9-1 against Baltimore this year. Porcello struggled in his last outing. 8 runs, 7 hits against the Jays. I don't trust Porcello, but I think that you've been banking tons of units on the Red Sox run line at home.
At home.
Whether or not you should do that on the road.
Very different,
with the
Jimmy the Bag.
thunderstorms,
Yes.
with Gossman pitching. So anytime, like I said, anytime I see a spot where I think, wow, the Orioles have value, I'm just not going to bet it, at least for the time being. So I'm not going to take the Red Sox here. I'm not going to take the Orioles here.
All right. I'm definitely leaning Red Sox. I will start out, as you said, it's true. Porcello's a little bit of a question mark, and the bullpen is much better. I am taking Boston's second half minus 170. Obviously, you could say minus 170. I could sit here and overthink that for a few minutes, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to give it minus 170. And even though Porcello has definitely been iffy recently and Gossman has been pretty decent, I would also have to be leaning Boston minus 1 as well. All right.
But before we go any further,
yes.
one of our beloved low baggers, my man Paco Healy, says, Jim Pete chat need positive vibes today. I have the interview of my life today.
Paco Healy, I don't know if I have any communication with the universe powers here, but if I do, I'm sending the most positive vibes I possibly can, and I think I speak for Native Queen as well. She's sending the most positive vibes as possible. I think I speak for King Rail as well. He's sending the most positive vibes as possible. I even think I speak for Kobe Valentine as well. He's sending the most positive vibes as possible. I think I speak for 99 or maybe even 100% of the entire chat, except for those 1 or 2 guys who thumbs down every video. We are all sending the most positive vibes possible to Von Polo for his
Paco Healy.
To Paco Healy. Sorry about that. To Paco Healy for his job interview today. Paco Healy. From my mouth to God's ears, get the job. Nail it, baby. We love you.
Yeah.
Was that good?
That was great.
That was great? All right, let's move on.
Dodgers, Phillies. There's a few games here that I really think if I heard someone believing I forget who. Sorry, I haven't slept last night about Ross Stripling feeling like the break might be good for him. When you're dealing with thunderstorms in these, there's a few parks where there's just thunderstorms in the forecast all night. Really tread carefully if you really believe in a certain pitcher, because you don't know if you're going to get him all game. Winds blowing out over left center, pretty strong, and Stripling Eflin. Machado has changed the vibe in this clubhouse.
Yeah.
When a team makes a move like that, all the other players look at each other and say, it's time. It's time. This brass believes in us. Let's get our shit together. He's off to a hot start, 5 for 13. Stripling's been incredible all year. You spoke a lot about it, about speeding up his curveball. Now he's born in Bluebell, Pennsylvania. Is this so? This is basically a home start for the first time All-Star. How he'll handle that, I expect him to handle that well. He's an older guy. 6 shutout innings last start against the Padres on July 12th, and then Eflin. What are we going to get? He missed his final start for the All-Star break with a blister.
Yes.
Has allowed 2 earned runs or less in 9 of his 12 starts, but the Dodgers have destroyed him. Absolutely destroyed him. This is another spot where I'm very uncomfortable with the weather and don't know if I have a strong play. I'd love to hear if you have a move on this.
I was leaning Dodgers -1. I was leaning Dodgers on the second half. I think that Eflin, I think we can assume, I'm not exactly sure what to make of blisters nowadays because they do have, they've made some significant advancements in blister fixing since like even I started handicapping MLB. So I'm thinking that Eflin will probably be okay. I'm leaning Dodgers -1 and I'm leaning Dodgers second half as well. Philly, Do we expect some regression from them, Jim? What do you think? Because all throughout the week, the last week, another thing we talked about was which teams and which pitchers we expect regression from. There was some disagreement with Philly. Some people suggesting Philly's in for negative regression. Some people liking them. What do you think?
Yeah, it's so interesting. Well, let me talk about some of the guys in our chat, because Tomor and Valentine and Kobe see a regressing team here from the first half. But my man Nostra has now put futures on the Phillies, thinking that they can go very far. Tomor says, I'm on the Dodgers on the run line. Phillies lineup after Hoskins' third spot is garbage. Phillies run differential is barely positive. Kobe says Philly should be a regressing team from the first half.
And Kobe says anything that alters a pitcher's grip is never a good sign to bet on them. Yes, I don't want to overreact to reports of a blister, but it's not a good sign. All right, you know what? I guess I will not. I guess I will not overthink this, Jimmy the Bag. I guess I will take. I do kind of like Stripling here. I really do.
This is a good spot. Phillies don't hit righties hard. 236, 711 OPS. You know what? If you blindly took the Dodgers every game from here on in,
you probably,
I don't even think probably. I think that I think you'd be in a nice spot.
Yeah.
Now, this is a spot that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Everything, if you're using a recency bias, you're thinking about Machado in the lineup, you're thinking about them. I guess they did lose that Kershaw start against the Brewers, but still, it feels like the Dodgers are moving in the right direction. But I just don't, and with the thunderstorms all night, I just don't feel like I can confidently take an angle.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, I'm going to take the Dodgers here on the second half minus 145. That's the start. Again, these games all start in the evening, so we can add on to our picks officially in the evening show. But I'm going to start off just by taking the Dodgers on the second half minus 145. That's an official pick. Now let's move on to the Atlanta-Miami game. This is an interesting one. Newcomb is a guy. If you recall, when he first came up, everyone was like, "This guy has electric stuff. He just has control problems. If he gets over his control problems, he'll be great." He did, and now recently the control problems are back. I'm definitely going to take Atlanta here on the second half. Their closer also pitched a lot of pitches yet last night, and I'm taking Atlanta on the second half, and I'm not sure about anything else, but I'm definitely taking Atlanta on the second half.
I am a little surprised to see Newcomb fall apart when it looked like he had everything going. Before we break down this game, I want to give a shout out to Deshaun Sampson. It feels good to be back. Amongst the greatest cappers. Loshak to bag all the cappers in the chat. Lead the way, fellas. Let's all cash in. And then I want to give another shout out to my man Lamont Williams. God, I love these guys so much. Yes. Lamont says, Jimmy the Bag, my man, you're back for life forever. Dodgers money line, Milwaukee money line, Oakland A's money line, Boston run line are his place. One
other thing that we're gonna have to just in case we didn't forget it, Jose Ruiz made a pre-show request for a birthday pick. It is his birthday today, so we're gonna wish him his happy birthday.
It's Jose Ruiz's birthday.
It's Jose Ruiz's birthday,
dope,
and he made a pre-show request before the show for a birthday pick, which sent me into palpitations because I have to give a winning pick on birthdays. But I think I'll be able to give Jose Ruiz a pick. But just keep that in mind.
I love hearing your birthday picks, but you know what I love more?
What's that?
Your uplifting speeches for someone's birthday. I need to hear. Can you just give me just a little 30-second thing towards Jose and his future?
Yes, hell yeah. Jose Ruiz, listen, life sucks and it's short, and we know that, right? Start off with that. Jose Ruiz. Happy birthday, pal. That's what I'm going to start with, and that's just the first 10 seconds.
I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to panic. How short?
Yeah. Oh, it's real short, and it sucks. That's the first line for my toast for Jose Ruiz's birthday. But I develop it later on.
It's going to be a build. We're going to build. It's going to be throughout the whole show.
It's going to be a build. All right.
Newcomb versus Urena. Game time 85. Game time 85 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out over left center. Marlins had their 4-game winning streak snapped. Marlins are playing good ball, won 7 of 10. Atlanta's lost 9 of 13, but they've beaten the Marlins 5 out of 7 games. Ozzie Albies will be out of the lineup, most likely. He's not confirmed, but most likely with tightness in his hamstring, and that's a huge loss. He's a hell of a player. Newcomb, incredible in May. 5-0, 1.54 ERA. Great in June, 2-1, 2.67 ERA. And in July, 0-3, 9.75 ERA. I don't know how much you buy into these stats, but both these pitchers are much better at night than they are in the daytime. I don't know how much you buy into that. But as bad as Newcomb's been this year, he's been dominant against the Marlins. 2-0, 0.75 ERA. Urena Urena, I never know what we're going to get from him.
Yes, Urena is always a big question mark, and I don't know, maybe someone with a super advanced artificial intelligence modeler can tell you what to expect from Urena, but from my eye, I don't know. I think it's just a matter of percentages, like a quantum particle. You just don't know what you're going to get from Urena. I think about 40% of the time you're going to get a nice solid start. 60% of the time you're going to get a shaky start, and wish you would somehow been able to see it. But I'm definitely taking Atlanta on the second half here, minus 125. I don't trust Newcomb at all right now. Again, first start back from the All-Star break, anything can happen. We've seen people shit the bed who were pitching great. How much have the Cincinnati Reds shitted the bed offensively? I mean, you see that all the time, right? Any a trend that ends at an All-Star break is ripe for reversing in a stark way, at least to start the second half of a season. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
So that could happen with Newcomb here. He could come in here and have 7 innings with no walks, shutout innings, and be impressive. But I'm going to take Atlanta just on the second half.
Vital says Urena pitches a gem today. Newcomb will get hit. Mental in his head, and he hasn't fixed it.
Yeah.
Searcy says Newcomb very rarely makes it past the 6th inning.
Right. So I'm taking Atlanta on the second half. Let's just get to some comments, and then we'll review some other games that are interesting. First, I've only got Boston, Atlanta, and the Dodgers all on the second half. So let's see. Jason Lovely says Loshak in the bag. Awesome show. Thank you so. God, wow. It really, man. When you come back, Jim, all of a sudden the big comments start flooding back in.
I love these guys so much. It's so good to be back.
Not applicable says Pete shit the bed. Don't forget that one. Yes, I did. If you yes, I did. I did. No, I did. No, I did. I did.
But you can't clean a bed unless it's being shit in,
that's right? That's
what
right.
was that? I don't think I nailed that quote you had from earlier this season.
Yes. DJ Big Boss says, I'm leaning Atlanta. Huge shout out to DJ Big Boss.
Yes,
DJ Big Boss.
We'll have DJ Big Boss running with us at IFBC.
Other comments coming on. Anthony L says, I told you Reds were going to be a fade team in the second half. Keep that in mind. Anthony L says Reds are going to be a fade team. Also, Mr. Gokster 99 expects Minnesota to be a play-on team. I did not forget that, Mr. Gokster. Let's see. What else do we have here coming in? Just looking on some comments. Ralph Portuano likes the over in Miami. Maybe the Miami first 5 innings team total over to hit Newcomb might be okay. SM says, Pete, do you like Boston's second half against Baltimore today? Yes, I already gave that one as an official pick. SM, absolutely. Go other comments coming in.
Just want to give much love to Benjamin Creasy. Says this show's got me through some tough times. Let's get it popping today. Looking for a big play. Much love, Benjamin Creasy.
Hell yeah. Jim Bean says Newcomb is complete trash. When his control is off, he is. The big question is if. Let's see. Other comments coming in. There's some other. Ritola says as long as Moreno doesn't walk the lineup, the Marlins pull this game. Tom Marino says both teams have weak bullpens. And who was it? There was a lot of other.
Jim Bean says Reds win today. Twatty says Reds ran into the hottest team in baseball. Reds will hit. I'm looking forward to getting into that game.
Antoine Seymour likes Marlins first 5. That might be a no-brainer play, or even more no-brainerish. Marlins first 5 team total over. But Antoine Seymour likes Marlins first 5.
I think Antoine might be onto something there. I like Urena at home, and I think this Braves lineup is much easier without Ozzie Albies in the lineup. I see where he's going. I like
Jim
that.
Bean, Miami is the play. Justin Searcy, Miami plus 115. Okay, let's move on. I'm looking for comments here. I'm just looking for handicapping comments, and then we'll move on. All right. Okay. Someone said picking a pitcher over a blister is really dumb. Where is that comment? I can't find it. All right. Anyway. All right. So let's move on. Other comments. Let me see. Other comments. Other games. Obviously, the Kluber start is very interesting, but I want to get to just the other plays that I wanted to make sure that I was going to lock in. Let me see. Well, are there any other plays you're thinking about making, Jim?
There are a few plays I'm interested in making, but first, I want to talk about this Reds Cardinals game. We have a lot of people talking about it right now, so it just feels right. I'm trying to stop from just jumping on this kid, Ponce de Leon. The story is obviously something that is something that you believe in, battling back from this. And Castillo is being questionable with velocity issues. but I don't want to just make a play because I'm enamored with a nice story. Cards have lost 6 of 9. Reds were just swept by the Pirates, hottest team in baseball, outscored 27-5. They've now lost 4 in a row. Ponce de Leon's 2017 season ended. He was struck in the head by a line drive off the bat of Victor Caratini. He needed emergency brain surgery, hospitalized for 3 weeks before being allowed to travel to his home to allow the brain swelling to subside. In AAA Memphis, which is in the PCL league, he's been the best pitcher probably in the whole league.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so I don't know what to make of this. The guy had the injury, goes to PCL, is absolutely lights out. Now he comes up to the majors. I mean, this is just like psychologically, what do we make of this?
You know what? Generally speaking, I know that you would be concerned when a guy has a 2.15 ERA and 9-3, just dominant, and then he comes up into the majors and he's not able to replicate that. But this guy, after all he's been through, I could see him having a real magical start. Now, is this just some whimsical? But I don't want to get taken away from some fairy tale.
It's okay to know fairy tales are real. It's okay to be whimsical.
I feel like that's what's happening here. And Castillo's a guy I don't trust. 5.49 ERA, 1.38 WHIP, makes his 4th start of the season against St. Louis. He just faced them last start, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 hits. Knowing that this Cardinals team has seen Castillo so much, 0-2 with a 5.63 ERA in his first 3 starts, 0-3 in his career in 4 starts, I feel like Ponce de Leon might be the play.
I'm thinking that the under might be the play. I'm not totally. I would like to hear people's opinions on Castillo because I'm thinking I don't necessarily think Castillo is going to be a top end starter this year in the second half, but I think he might be in for a little bit positive regression, and I'm thinking about the under at 9.5 here.
Yes, that makes total sense. Frank Alexander's on that. St. Louis full game and under. I'm.
Chris Moran says, I've been following Pete since he went bald. Love you guys. Positive vibes. Shout out Chris Moran. Hell of a comment right there. Let's see. What else do we have here?
I really lean St. Louis. You know what? Scotty Rock's on it too. I'm going to sit on this. I'm not just going to make a play because of this romanticized situation that Ponce de Leon's in. So, I'm leaning towards Cardinals first 5 in full game, but I need to sit with this afternoon and make sure I'm making a play on actual stats and not just because I'm enamored with a story.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. This is a no-brainer play. Now I did this yesterday. This ironically was one of my better tweeted segments because I tweeted out 4 plays and I only went 1 and 3. I did have one winner on first 5 and full game team total overs in the Texas game. And now tonight we have Oakland against Texas, Anderson against Hamels. Hamels has been struggling. Anderson, of course, is very vulnerable and hittable. And I'm thinking that full game and first 5 inning team totals are both plays. I would also be leaning to the over at 10.5, although it's very interesting that the market has bet this line down from 11 to 10.5. But I'd be leaning first 5 over, full game over, and I think I'm going to give both first 5 and full game team totals for both of these teams, Oakland and Texas, Anderson against Hamels. What do you think?
Yes, I've watched Brett Anderson a lot throughout his career. He came to the Jays last year, and he's one of those guys when people, for whatever reason, when he makes his first start or 2 back up from the minors, he seems to pitch lights out, and I don't understand it. And then every start he seems to get worse and worse and worse. I think he gets touched here for sure. I'm going to back the Rangers here, but I don't know. I haven't taken a good look at this, what the line is for the Rangers money line. I'm definitely going to take the Rangers. First off, my first play today will be the Rangers first 5 team total over.
The Rangers first 5 team total over. I will be on that one as well. I'm also going to be on the Oakland first 5 team total over. So the Rangers first 5 team total over 2.5 is for Texas. That will be minus 114, and for Oakland it's going to be minus 105. I know Hamels can be crafty and get guys out. You think that Hamels going to be able to hold down the A's here?
This isn't a vaunted A's offense against lefties. Although they've improved a little bit, they still seem to lack power. It's just Chris Davis who has power against lefties. They're hitting 235 with a 705 OPS. Compare that to the Rangers, 248, 740 OPS versus lefties. I think this game screams Rangers to me. I know that Hamels has not looked quite quite as good, but here he is at home. I know the Athletics are a very hot team, and it makes me uncomfortable when Jim Bean says Oakland play of the day. It makes me uncomfortable, but I feel like, in Bookie Bird, I'm definitely on Oakland -1.5.
Yeah, now if people are on Oakland, that tells me that, because I don't think it's because Anderson comes in here and has a good start. I think it's because the overs hit. So I'm going to take both first 5 innings and both full game overs. Both of the full game overs are 5.5 at significant plus money at Pinnacle, and at Heritage it's 5 as favorite lines. Now, betting wise, I should probably be taking the underdog lines here, but because I'm risk averse when I give public picks, I'm going to take the favorite lines. I'm going to take Oakland team total over 5 -125, and I'm going to take Texas team total over 5 -115. Those are both at Pinnacle. So I'm on this 4 different ways, and Jim is just on the Texas first 5 innings team total over 2.5 -114, right?
Yeah, and you know what? With everybody saying, Kobe Valentine saying 7-4 Oakland, Lamont Williams says, I like A's. Bookie Birds are on the A's run line. I'm not going to, Randy Lockhart on the A's. Now, is this just a recency thing going on with the A's? Now, I've got the A's futures, which I got laughed at nonstop. If the A's run,
who laughed at you?
On my Twitter, when I put it out, I got just a ton of just the laughs and clown faces and shit. If they do run, I will definitely retweet some of those fucking haters.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't want to go against all these cappers here, even if there is some recency bias going on. I do have a lean towards the Rangers.
Okay. All right. So, once again, I'm taking 4 team totals here. First 5 innings on both, and full game team total overs on both. Jim is taking just Texas first 5 inning team total over 2.5 -114. Unfortunately, all the games that did not have overnight lines, I did not have a chance to look at, so I have no opinions on them as of yet, but I will in the afternoon show, of course. That is Minnesota-Toronto and a few other games. With the Yankees game is interesting. We do have DeGrom against Lauer in Mets-San Diego. And once again, let me just review the play. You have Giolito. It is Lucas Giolito Day. I have no opinion on that as of right now, but it's Giolito, as far as I can tell. Did you look at that game at all?
I've looked at all the games.
You've looked at all the games.
I spent a lot of time getting drunk at the airport, all to my lonesome self. I've looked at all these games. I've banged them all up.
All right. What do you think about Luis Giolito here? Another fade situation for him, or not?
Well, Giolito is a guy who's just had my number all year. There's certain pitchers who I believe in Giolito to start this season, and he made me look foolish. And I don't like this Angels team, although they did get off the schneid last night. Game time temp 82 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out. Giolito it's not even Giolito, it's this White Sox offense. They have a 700 OPS versus righties. I feel like Barry is vulnerable. I'm going to spend a little more time with Giolito. He's had me. He's a guy I believed in to start the season, and I can't get it right with him. Are the Angels going to start hitting? Because they've looked terrible. I was so confident in Marco Gonzalez's spot last night against the White Sox. I feel like this White Sox team is just getting worse and worse and worse offensively. Justin
Searcy is on the White Sox plus 183. We're going to read some comments now for handicapping comments. Let's see. Jay the Gifted says, I'm on the Rangers. I live in Oakland. A's might be a bit tired from the Bay Bridge series with the Giants.
Well,
there
clearly
you go.
the Giants took a lot out of them, and Familia came in and really sort of saved them. So I think that's a very interesting point that
yeah, listen, I might be making more mistakes here, taking both team total overs 4 different ways, but taking the team to 4 different team totals here. But I'm not gonna overthink my opinions and my leans right now. Red Girl likes Texas and the under. I do vaguely feel like Texas and the under and Oakland and the over are correlated here. And Red Girl liking Texas and the under. I hope the same thing doesn't happen to you. What happened yesterday? Can you believe that? Hot weather at Texas, and Gallardo had a shutout start against the Indians lineup. Unbelievable, right?
I would have lost. It was I took a nice week off. I should feel refreshed.
Well, you'll feel refreshed tomorrow. You'll feel refreshed tomorrow, I'm sure.
I want to talk about this Heath Fillmyer. I remember when Andy Blue 2525 was talking about the guys that the Mets were bringing up from the minors, and he was saying what a trash system that they have, and that these guys are terrible. If you look at Fillmyer's stats for the Royals, how is he being brought up? 5.75 ERA, 1.63 WHIP, 47 Ks and 67 1/3, 28 walks. I just feel like he is so susceptible, and so is Lariano. So do you see an over, first 5 over, full game over in the cards here? Because I feel like it might be something that could even be ground fruit.
I don't know. That's a game I think I'm going to pass on, just because both these lineups are bad, both the bullpens are bad, both the starting pitchers are bad. You do see this sometimes when there's just like there's no when you're handicapping awfulness against awfulness. This does tend to pop up, and I think we have this here. We definitely have this here. I'm not sure what positive you would give. What's the best unit here? Is it the bullpen, starting pitchers, or lineup for either of these teams? I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, Casey's coming off of a sweep. I would lean Casey here a little bit, just because I think Detroit is a little bit cooked, and I think Casey might be in for a little bit of positive regression in the second half. So I'd be leaning Casey here, but I don't think I'm going to touch it. This game has pass written all over it as far as I'm concerned.
Interesting. I'm not going to make a play on it yet, but it's something that I'm leaning towards. Now, 5.5 and 9.5 aren't the kind of totals that you want to see with teams that both these teams have OPSs under 700. Tigers are getting 243, 684 OPS versus righties. Royals are 239, 670 OPS versus lefties.
I actually would be leaning second half under here, and I might make that one a play. Even though Casey has a terrible bullpen, I think that these lineups are just very uninspiring. So I'd be leaning under 3.5 at plus 105. I'm not going to make a pick on that one officially yet, but that's definitely a lean that I have. All right.
I want to talk Padres Mets.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, the reason why I'm not going to just make this play immediately is because I'm worried. I want to keep an eye on this forecast. I don't want to take unders here if the thunderstorms are going to wreak havoc. And it looks like they are. It looks like there's going to be thunderstorms all night. It looks like some of these games could be completely postponed.
Yes, definitely.
Game time, 79 Fahrenheit. If this was a nice night, I like that the Mets can't hit lefties, and I like that DeGrom is capable. I feel like DeGrom's capable of shutting down this Padres lineup. Lauer took the loss in his most recent start. It was awful. It was his shortest start of his career. I expect him to bounce back in this spot. This is a great spot for him. This Mets team is a 635 OPS versus lefties. I mean, it's terrible. DeGrom dominates the Padres, 3-1, 1.53 ERA in 5 career starts. He just looks very, very good. So I would take the first 5 under and full game under right now if I felt like the weather wasn't going to wreak havoc. So I guess I'm going to wait. It sucks. I have all these. I think it's smartest to do this with some of these weather-related plays I don't want to get stuck with. But I'm going to wait and watch the weather. But I want, if Lauer and DeGrom don't get screwed by a thunderstorm, I think this game goes under.
All right, here are some opinions coming in that I'm just pulling out here. Scotty Rock Forever likes Cardinals money line. Jim Bean says Casey wins. Kevy K says Royals got a little momentum. Trenton Claxton likes Detroit first 5, okay. And Rashad Sutton says Oakland might be in trouble. The bullpen is spent. Oakland might be in trouble. The bullpen is spent. That comes from Rashad Sutton. All right. Any other opinions you want to get to? SM likes Angels to score first against the White Sox at minus 120. Any other? I'm just collecting comments here that I want to make sure we get to. Handicapping comments is what I am getting to here, Jim. Any other games you want to touch on?
There's some very difficult games that we haven't mentioned yet. The Twins Blue Jays. I mean, trying to figure out what Adalberto Maya and Luis Santos is going to do is very difficult. Now they're going to close the roof because we have thunderstorms in the forecast as well in Toronto. The Jays are going to be on a bullpen day. We haven't seen the Jays do this, and their bullpen is trash. Marco Estrada was supposed to be the starter, but he's not quite ready. Jays are coming off a sweep with the Orioles. Twins are coming off being swept by the Royals. Seeing how Royals played so good in that series against the Twins? Is that one of the reasons why you're leaning with them over the Tigers?
No. I just feel like we see this a lot of times from the Royals, especially in the second half of the years when they're terrible. We see this in the past when they would still be terrible, but they'd just be a huge underdog game in and game out, and against weaker teams they would have some life and would have some value.
No, I hear you.
And you look at their lineup and you'd be like, well, how are they going to win this game? And there's not really an answer for that. You just know that they are going to wind up one way or another winning 40% of their games, and if you can pick the spots, you can have an edge.
This is a tough spot trying to cap what May and Santos are going to do. May has made one start at the major league level this year, went 4 innings against the Cubs and got destroyed. 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 1 K. AAA Rochester, he's done better. 5-3, 3.32 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. He's pretty good. 61 Ks, 62 in the third. In his start Tuesday, he allowed 7 earned runs in 6 innings against Louisville. He got touched. But he held Scranton Wilkes-Barre to just 1 run the previous start. Who knows what you're going to get from these guys? This makes me very uncomfortable trying to find an angle here. Last year he made 21 starts for the Twins, 4-7, 4.50 ERA, 1.57 WHIP. I figured that he might be able to crack the squad earlier. Faced the Blue Jays once, September 16th of last season, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits in 3 innings, did not look good. Santos making his first career starts, made 5 appearances out of the bullpen, 8 innings total. Now, 6, so in 8 innings total, he's allowed 7 earned runs, 11 hits, 9 Ks, 4 walks, but 6 of those runs came in that first appearance, May 3rd, at Cleveland, and then he was sent right back. So since he's sent back to Buffalo, so since he's come back, 6 1/3, he's only allowed 1 earned run, 6 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks. If it's just recent form, I like Santos here. AAA Buffalo, 2-2 with a 2.52 ERA. He's made 100 career starts in the minors. It's not like this guy isn't tested. Twins are hitting 243, 718 OPS versus rights, and then the Jays are hitting 232, 708 OPS versus lefties. So it's very difficult to figure out how to cap this, but I have a lean towards Santos having a better start than Maya.
Okay. Yes, I did not look at that game because there was no overnight line, and I will look at that in the afternoon. In the meantime, some comments that came in that I wanted to address. Rashad Sutton says the Cardinals have just seen Castillo before the break, also, and Mally Maldo says the Reds are still favored for a reason. Interesting. SM says Boston 4.5 team total over is the play to hit Gossman. Okay, that's interesting. Lamont Williams says St. Louis full game over, Pete. I was thinking maybe about a shot with the under on that one, but Lamont Williams liked the over. Again, Kobe Valentine, give me Oakland at the gorgeous line. Trenton Claxton says low-hanging fruit is Boston, Detroit, and Dodgers. Yeah, Boston and Dodgers in retrospect might be low-hanging fruit. Detroit, I'm not sure what he's seeing. And then Kevy K says Atlanta bats have owned Urena, Freeman, Markakis, Inciarte, so maybe the first 5 innings over in that one might be worth a shot in the Atlanta game.
Maybe. I think was it Lamont Williams? Who was it? Lamont Williams that was on the Marlins first 5?
Yes, and that is the total is 4 on the first 5, and the team total for the Marlins first 5 is let me find it. The team
What's
total,
the Marlins money line first 5?
The Marlins money line would probably be about plus 105. Yeah, the team total from the Marlins is 2 at plus 103 on the first 5 innings, and then the first 5 innings money line I'm guessing is let's see, what do we have here, about plus 105 or so? Yeah, plus 110s. No, there's Intertops 115 we can give you. Yeah.
I think that might be a nice spot. So your expectation of Newcomb is to continue to struggle?
I really don't know. I mean, if this weren't his first start after the All-Star break, I would probably be thinking that he's an auto fade. But it's just, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? The guy's still a major league pitcher. It was only last month that he was pitching, very well. Although maybe I'm overthinking myself here and just, but it's just the All-Star break. You know what I mean?
I'm going to take the Marlins first 5.
Are you sure?
Yep.
All right. Jim's going to take Miami first 5, agreeing with Lamont Williams, or maybe it was a few other people as well. First 5 innings. Money line plus 115. That's the current line at Intertops.
And with all this talk, and I know there's still a few games we haven't got to, which we will get to, but with all this talk about this Cardinals-Reds, I don't know how is Castillo going to turn it on? Are we going to say, oh, he had a nice break over the All-Star week and he's rested and he's going to have his velocity back up and feel good? Is that the what makes it so uncomfortable gambling after the All-Star break?
Yeah.
Because I think Ponce de Leon, with everything that he's gone through, I mean, it's going to be a pretty magical opportunity for him.
I want to see what the market has to say about this one. This is one of these games where I'm really interested. As of right now, as Mally Mal said, Cincinnati's still a favorite, but some money has come in on Ponce de Leon. I was leaning under, but Lamont Williams says lean over, which, I was thinking that Ponce de Leon will have a decent first start, maybe give up a couple runs, 5 innings, 2 runs, something like that, 5 innings, 3 runs, something like that. I think Castillo will have a decent start as well, and at 9.5, I would be leaning over, and maybe even the first 5 innings, 9.5, I'd be leaning under. Maybe even the first 5 innings under, although there are no 5.5s, it's only 5. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely make a play on this game. I think you're right. I think the market will probably give us a good idea. Williams versus Kluber.
Yeah.
Trevor Williams is another pitcher I've had a very difficult time with. I just can't seem to get it right with him. He throws 90, 89 sometimes. Yeah. Game time temp 78 Fahrenheit, wind blowing in, but not very much. There's another situation where there's a chance of thunderstorms throughout. So if you were going to take the ace, Corey Kluber, I would tread very carefully again because you don't want to lose him after 2 or 3 innings, and that could happen. Pirates have won 9 straight. Dickerson homered for 4 straight games. Marte's 15-game hitting streak. Williams is so hard to figure out. Last 10 starts, 2-5 with a 6.26 ERA. Pitched 6 innings or more, only 2 of his last 9 starts, but one of those was last start. July 11th, 2-0, 5 scoreless innings, gave it 4 hits. Even in his good starts, he barely gets through. They're clearly, Hurdle doesn't want him to see a lineup a third time.
Yeah.
Kluber, again, another very, very tough situation. He's dealing with this right knee injury.
Yes, the knee injury, and that, as Kobe Valentine and other professional athletes will know, one injury can throw off one injury in one part of your body can completely throw off all your mechanics. You know what I'm saying? Suddenly, your arm slot is off, your release point is off, everything's all off. That happened to Kobe. That happened to Kluber, and I know that they say that his knee is better now, but it's got to be in his head. You know what I mean?
This is his quote. I don't want to try to use it as an excuse or anything, but I think if anything, it made it a little bit harder to constantly repeat the delivery the way that I would want to. My arm action has been the same. It's just the release point is lower. Exactly what you're
Jim
saying.
Bean says Williams is an auto fade. I got to be thinking that maybe Cleveland, at least on the first 5, if not full game as well, team total overs.
Kobe's on Pittsburgh money line. Oh, sorry, overs. Yeah, no. And the Twatty Latte small bet on Pittsburgh reverse run line at plus 380. I would be much more if I make a move, it would be on Pittsburgh, and it would be with the hope that a thunderstorm comes in and knocks Kluber out of the game.
I'm thinking about Cleveland. Cleveland obviously is an offensive juggernaut. Well, I don't know if they're offensive juggernaut right now, but they have a lot of power in that lineup. Cleveland, of course, was the biggest overtrending team at home by far in the first half, and I would be leaning Cleveland first 5 innings team total over and at 3, and full game team total over at 5 minus 125. Kluber, what are we going to get from him? I don't know. I think there's some big question marks here, and
Twatty says this is the best lineup the Pirates have had since the early 90s.
yes, and I did talk about the Pirates in one of my videos with Joe Gavassi, and Joe Gavassi expects positive regression from the Pirates coming up in the second half, and he said that he liked the Pirates. He gave one pick on the Pirates game against Cincinnati. I think it was the Friday game, which obviously they cashed. And based on his analysis, I'm assuming he liked Pittsburgh in all 3 of those those games. And Joe Gavassi definitely had some interesting things to say about Pittsburgh. I'm thinking that they might be a play-on team at least in the first few weeks of the second half as well.
There's no reason not to ride them, especially in this situation where they're a big dog against a star pitcher who's dealing with a knee injury. My man Carlos Barros says, started a new job. Part of the negotiations was I get uninterrupted time to watch Loshak in the bag. Got what I wanted.
Pow! There you go. Carlos Barros says Jimmy started a job, part of negotiations. I get uninterrupted time to watch Loshak in the bag. I got what I wanted. There you got to ask for what you want. You know what I'm saying? You got to ask for what you want.
Kevy K says Kluber red flags. Strikeouts are way down.
Yes.
Swinging strike rate way down. Hard contact spiked. Wow. So after this talk, how do you not like the overs and how do you not like the Pirates?
Yeah. Yes, I was thinking about that. I'm going to hold off for now because it's a little bit tricky taking these home teams on the big team total overs, but I'm just thinking about it.
But I don't even need the team total really because I think Williams is susceptible coming off a beauty start. And then we have Kluber, who has not pitched for 10 days.
Here we go. Kobe Valentine says, happened to me, Pete. I had a bad knee injury. I was crap for the half year until I healed. Then I blew my arm out. And Kobe Valentine says, Corey Kluber. Wait. Hold on. Kobe Valentine says, Kluber has had injections to his knee. It's a lingering injury, but not a severe enough one to keep him out. So it seems like Kobe is down on Kluber here. He's got an injury that's not enough to keep him out, but is enough to affect his mechanics. And those are the kinds of injuries that I love to fade.
Lamont Williams saying, what about Pittsburgh solo over 3.5? That's a good bet. That is a good bet, but I feel like this is the kind of spot where I would like both teams' offenses, just in case. Jim Bean says the rest will help Kluber. I think the full game over is the play here. What market moves has happened with that?
Well, it's not a low total. With Kluber starting, you'd have to get an 8.5. And it is headed up just a little bit. Well, headed up significantly.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Yes, look at that. Although it seems like is that a stale line? I don't think Bet365 is still a plus 100 at 8.5. But let me see. Yeah, according to SBR odds, it is still plus 100, 8.5.
Wow, Kobe saying Kluber's actually been an over pitcher this year. The over's 30-8 in Cleveland's last 38 at home.
And now maybe he's having some issues. Maybe Kluber will get bitten by the same things that we've seen afflict Chris Sale. Dominant starter who fades a little bit in the second half, and maybe we will see some significant regression from Kluber coming up. Do we want to jump on that train right now?
I think so. I think we at least I'm not going to team totals, although I can understand them. I'd rather just have both offenses just in case. And with the thunderstorms coming in, that hurts the Indians. That hurts. That can only help me. I'm going to take the full game over.
You want that one?
Yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, I did just because I have so much fucking integrity. I did go to Bet365 to check whether that's a stale line at SBR odds, and it is. It says 8.5 plus 100 at SBR odds, but it's minus 120 at SBR odds, as it is everywhere else.
Yeah.
So we can give you minus 115, which is a line at Pinnacle Bookmaker and a few other places. You want that one?
I do.
Cleveland over 8.5 minus 115. All right. I'm going to look at this one a little bit more and make my decisions in the evening show. Once again, the official picks that we have given: Jim's on Cleveland over 8.5 minus 115. Miami first 5 innings money line, and Texas first 5 innings team total over 2.5. I'm on Oakland and Texas first 5 innings 2.5 and full game team total overs on 5. Both of those 4 team total overs in the Oakland Texas game. I'm also on Atlanta second half, Boston second half, Dodgers second half. Those are the only plays I've given officially so far. Leans I'm thinking about, maybe throwing the Dodgers -1, but I think I'm going to hold off on that one. Maybe throwing on Boston -1, probably going to hold off on that one. Cincinnati, St. Louis, I think I'm just going to pass on that one. Atlanta, Miami, very interesting. I might wind up on Miami on the first 5 innings team total over, or maybe the first 5 innings over in the evening show. We'll see. The Mets game is going to be a pass for me for right now. Cleveland game's also going to be a pass for me for right now. Oakland, Texas, I already said that I'm on the overs 4 different ways. Tempted to take the first 5 over and the full game over as well, but I don't want to sextuple up on that one. I did quintuple up on that one yesterday, and I had only one winner. So I'm going to, I'm going to take a healthy shot at the overs, but not go crazy with it. And then Washington, Milwaukee we'll talk about, and then the other 2 games did not. Oh yeah, and then Detroit, KC. I have a vague lean to the second half under at 3.5 plus 105, but I'm not going to give that one as an official pick right now. Jimmy and I will be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time, where we'll review all the line movements on these interesting situations, start of the second half in MLB, and maybe give some official picks based on what we see the market telling us, or trying to tell us, or trying not to tell us, right? Before we wrap this show up, we can just quickly touch on Washington-Milwaukee, which is a game that we didn't talk about yet. What to expect from both these teams in the second half. I saw some people saying Washington was going to be a play on, some people saying Washington was going to be a fade, and the same deal with Milwaukee. Washington and Milwaukee are both somewhat similar to Philly right now, as far as I've seen educated opinions high and low on both of them.
Yeah, I think that both these pitchers could use the rest, and I'm actually expecting Gio Gonzalez is a guy I fade all the time, but I am expecting better starts from both these guys after the break. Brewers don't hit lefties at all. 222, 668 OPS. And Nationals are a mess. They're just a mess. I mean, they're not the hoof and mouth disease dumpster fire of the Mets, but everything. I mean, watching Strasburg and Scherzer get into it, it just seems like it's about to break down. And you know what? I hated what David Martinez did in the spring, letting the players do exactly whatever they wanted, and he's felt like a rookie manager the whole season. And I know it's worked. Well, it hasn't obviously worked with Callaway. I know it has worked in New York and Philly. This game's going to need more. What is the total at right now, and has there been any movement?
9. The total is 9, and slightly juiced to the under. Very slightly juiced to the under. Not much movement on the total.
I have a definite full game under lean here that I'm going to study on the break. I just before we move forward, I would like just to go over what these leans and just kind of say them out loud and feel if I'm going to move further on anyone. I really I have a lean towards the Cardinals in this Ponce de Leon start. They've seen Castillo so many times. I'm going to work on that all afternoon. And then I'm going to track the weather in New York, because if the thunderstorms aren't going to wreak havoc, I really like the unders in the Padres-Mets game. Then I've got the Marlins already. We haven't broken down this Yankees-Rays game or the Diamondbacks-Cubs game. I know that we will do that.
In the afternoon show,
yeah, the first 5 in full game. Rangers was a play I was going to make until I listened to the chat and how heavy people were believing in this A's team. So that's going to take some more study.
But don't forget, who is the guy who's from Oakland that said, trust me, they had a lot taken out of them with the San Francisco series.
And they did this. Playing San Francisco is one of those professional veteran teams that just grind at you and make you work for it. So I think it's a very good. It's not that I'm fully off of it. It's just that hearing the chat talk about that, there's just no way for me to say I think all these great cappers are on the wrong side. It just need more study. I do have a lean towards Lariano. I do feel like Phil Meyer. I think this is a situation that's happening with the Mets where their system is so trash. These guys they're bringing up are horrible. I'm leaning to the over, but the 5.5 and the 9.5 in Tigers Royals is uncomforting. Leaning to that Nationals Brewers full game under, and gonna study it and then hammer this on the late show. We got no other sports going on today, so we can focus all our energy on this.
And here we go. Mitchell Chagas has been riding Brew Crew first half. Definitely see regression for both teams. He's talking about regression for the Brewers and for Washington. Well, Washington couldn't regress that much more. They were the 5th worst team in MLB in terms of ROI in the first half, Jim. I don't know if you were aware of that, but the worst teams were the usual suspects: Orioles, Royals, White Sox, whatever. Number 5 at about minus 13%, according to my number. 5th worst team in ROI in terms of first half ROI was Washington. So if they regress negatively,
I'd say they fire Martinez.
Wow.
If any more, they fire Martinez. Shout out to my man Vancouver Brooks. Says, nodding along while my boss talks to me with Jimmy and Pete in my headphones.
Hell yeah.
Best 2 hours of the day are this show.
Hell
Much
yeah.
love to you, Vancouver
Hell
Brooks.
yeah, man. Do you think Vancouver Brooks would nominate us for a Streamy?
A Streamy?
Yeah, I don't know. Is a Streamy important? Someone told me that Streamies would be cool if we got there. So they were like, tell the people who say your show is good to just nominate you for a Streamy.
Hey,
I don't know,
but
it
always helps the show to grow. And but goddamn, if anybody watches this show and follows along and sees the incredible cappers we have in our chat and all the information, all this back and forth of this great information and debating, I don't know why anyone wouldn't just absolutely love this show.
Well, I can see some reason. I can see some reason. I'm not going to say them out loud, but I mean, there's a few things that came to mind. You know what I'm saying?
I stink like booze.
I mean, I'm not going to say them out loud, but which is why.
Well, what's been growing is my anticipation for your build-up for Jose Ruiz's birthday.
Yes, I know. All right, so we're gonna just read some final handicapping comments, and then I'll make a final decision on the official pick for Jose Ruiz's birthday. All right, let's see.
And Paco Healy says, "Where the fuck is Mutt Beast?"
I don't know. Wherever he is, wherever he is, he's talking very simply. Something tells me he has life mostly figured out. He's doing okay wherever he is. I could be wrong, but something tells me. All right, Tom Marino says, I think Milwaukee's bullpen is solid right now. They just struggled against a strong Dodgers lineup. Let me see. Kobe Valentine says, Washington won't regress. They will just consistently suck. Milwaukee will regress, though not that great of a team, and they have some drama around them. All right. So Kobe Valentine and Mitchell Chagas expecting some regression from Milwaukee in the second half.
Randy Lockhart saying, anybody think the Cards plus 1.5? Listen, personally, it's a play. Why turn a dog into a favorite? To me, I never ever do it. Obviously, my MLB season has not gone great, although I still think that I've got time to turn this around. But I just don't understand why,
Well, for reasons of volatility. I do that sometimes, yeah. Tom Reno says Washington's bullpen is mediocre right now with Doolittle out. I think Milwaukee has some value because their bullpen is much better. I'm going to have to look into that Milwaukee bullpen, whether I expect them to be top 10 in the second half or to fade back and be mediocre.
Well, both Maui Mal and Rashad think that Severino will have negative regression.
I mean, that's what I gave that opinion too in the first half. But I also said that there's no way, that might just mean that he'll have less betting value than he did in the first half, because with that bullpen and that lineup, it's going to be real hard for me to bet against the Yankees. But based on some All-Star break numbers crunching that I did, she popped up in one of the categories for negative regression.
Squatty Latte says Washington is clearly a bet-on team. Strasburg coming back, Turner, Harper both struggling, Eaton. I mean, they're so talented.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, you know, sometimes you just something's not right in that clubhouse, or something. Sometimes there's things going on without, you know, beyond our knowledge. But God, they're a talented team.
Yeah. All right, so it's Rashad Sutton. I've seen Severino pitch 4 times this year. Severino ain't a fade. Mally Mal says, so do I. Rashad Severino will have negative regression. 2 guys who both live in New York disagreeing on what to expect from Severino. I mean, I'm still, even if I think he's gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna bet against the Yankees ever in the second half. But it's gonna be.
Do you think they can come back in that division race?
I don't know, but it's just as far as their individual game lines, it's gonna be hard for me to bet against them.
For what? For 8 weeks, Tomor was saying Red Sox have value to win the division. Red Sox plus 120. You're saying it over. You're saying it every show. And, I'm in on the Yankees to win the division earlier, and a nice line. I put it in the show. And Tomor, goddamn, was he ever right? Man, I just love these guys so much. Love them, man. Rashad Sutton giving us great stuff. Cloudy Family, a new commenter. Big Ragu, and then Bill Butlicker. My
shout
man,
out to
Bill Butlicker.
Butlicker.
Said,
All right.
hear ye. Lord Bag has returned to his SBR kingdom. Along with his attorney, he has brought the rain that saved me from having to water my boss's flowers.
All right.
Thank you. Great to see you. Love to have you back.
Shout
Love
out.
you, Bill Butler.
Shout out. All right, so we're going to wrap up. Before we wrap up this show, I will give my official birthday pick to Underdog Ruiz. Before that, I just want to read some comments. Maybe the Streamies are important. People have heard of them. Marco Lou says, I think the Streamies is held the same time as the AVN in Las Vegas. That alone is a good reason to get nominated. And Paco Healy says, Streamy, I'll nominate. Okay, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Sorry, it's the same week as the Adult Video Awards?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, in Vegas, that alone. Yeah,
You hear
I
my
don't know.
man Jimmy G with that adult film star?
Hell yeah. I mean, we don't ask for much. I don't ask for much, but I guess. All right, so I am procrastinating here. All right, so let me see. Oh, God. All right. Jose Ruiz, life sucks and it's too short, but this is your birthday, and I know you're going to have a great life. I know you're going to make the most of however many years you got left, and I know you're going to have a particularly great year this year, and I know you're going to kick ass in sports betting this year. I know the big breaks are going to go your way this year. I can just feel it, at least in sports betting. So huge shout out of a happy birthday to Jose Ruiz, just a great guy, and also a guy who is also handicaps Philippine basketball pretty closely, and told me I was totally on the right side, and I in fact think he even sprinkled some on the money line when I took the rain or shine Elasto Painters first half and full game.
We're talking about my man Joey Ruiz, I think.
Joey Ruiz.
We have Jose Ruiz is a different capper, and Joey Ruiz. We have 2 different cappers. Because Underdog San Jose Shark Ruiz is my man Joey Ruiz.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Jose Ruiz isn't he that 6'6" guy in the Bronx?
Yes.
Who
No.
hates me?
His name is Joey Ruiz.
Yeah, it's my man Joey Ruiz.
What did I say? Jose Ruiz?
Yeah, Jose Ruiz is that guy in the Bronx who hates me.
No, this is the guy. His name is Underdog Ruiz.
Yeah, that's Joey.
Is he Joey?
That's my man
Joey
Joey.
Ruiz. Everything I just said to Jose Ruiz counts for him and for you as well. Joey Ruiz, also a guy who very impressively handicaps Philippine basketball and advised me, actually, not just endorsed my play on the rain or shine Elasto Painters, but told me to take him as an underdog, which I didn't have the balls to do, and they did wind up winning outright, and he cashed with them. I think he's on the rain or shine Elasto Painters again today. I'll look into that one in their next game coming up. But huge birthday shout out to Joey Ruiz, and my official birthday pick for Joey Ruiz. God, this is tough. I think it's going to be...
And you know that Joey will be with us at ISBC, make this a goddamn winner.
Joey's going to be with us.
A goddamn winner, Pete.
Oh, man. All right, and I also had a request from someone else saying don't make it a second half play, so that eliminates half of my plays here. So basically it's one of these team totals, Oakland, Texas, first 5 or full game. I am thinking that Texas might be worth a shot here. I'm just wondering, is Oakland going to be able to hit Hamels? I think Oakland, Oakland has a decent lineup here. We know that the whole team,
just like what's happening in LA with the Dodgers, same thing's happening with the A's. They're bringing in Familia. They're believing in themselves. There's a great vibe in that clubhouse.
All right, my official birthday pick for Joey Ruiz will be Oakland A's team total over 5 minus 125 full game. I hope they're not too. If they lose, I hope it's because Texas has a big offensive day, which is entirely possible. We're very concerned about what that guy who lives in Oakland said about how they're going to be tired from the series. But I think that Oakland could put up some points early, could put up some runs early, could put up some runs late. Hamels is crafty, but I think he could get hit here, and I'm taking Oakland team total over 5 minus 125 as my official birthday pick for Joey Ruiz. But this one, gosh. All right, I'm doing it. And I'm only doing it, I'm only not giving him the second half because someone else specifically requested the birthday pick not be a second half play. Fine.
Don't let that guy dictate your birthday picks.
He's not dictating anything. He makes requests, and as people know, regular viewers of the show know that the one advice that everyone gives you is don't try to please everyone. Well, I do. Peter Loshak tries to please everyone. I know I can't please everyone, but God damn it, I'm going to try. So if someone makes a request, make the birthday pick, please not a second half pick. I'm going to try to please him, and I'm going to honor that request.
Well, Demons Are Real has joined us. So.
Oh, shit. Right at the end of the show. Oh, no, but Red Girl says Texas under, Pete. Okay. Yes. Rashad Sutton says I wouldn't bet an under on that Texas game. Demons Are Real says good morning or afternoon, y'all. Good morning right back at you. Demons Are Real. Demons Are Real. Please, if you have any supernatural influence, let me get a winner here for Joey Ruiz on just not the full game over. I hope Red Girl cashes too. She likes the under. Just on the Oakland A's team total over 5 minus 125. That's my official birthday pick.
Oh no! Oh no!
What happened?
No. I'm just these birthday picks have been so strong.
Yes,
you let this guy get in your head with no second half.
I mean, I try to please everyone, but on the other hand, you know what I mean? It's like the birthday picks. They can't be undefeated. People expecting undefeated. That's just an epically as that guy Bookie Buster or whatever his name is will know.
Kaiser Kyle coming in with a quick Philippine basketball play.
Yes, Ginebra. That's who they're. He says they will win Philippine basketball. I think he's talking about they're going up against the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters, who are now my official favorite team, Jim. I now do have a team that I care about just a little bit. The Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. Kyle Saki says, Kai Sako says Ginebra will win Philippine basketball. You know what's amazing? You pick one of these like random leagues in sports that you think no one will care about. You talk about it. All of a sudden comments start coming in about people who have opinions and are seriously like handicapping it. So, there you go. That's it. Shout out to everyone, and that's it. Official birthday pick, Oakland, full game team total over 5 minus 125. That play is not very much endorsed by Red Girl, who likes the full game under, but it's possible the full game could go under, and Oakland could get a casher with a team total over as well. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time today.